Okay, so I got this enclosure to hopefully put the batteries inside. And what I found out is that, see these little protrusions here? This is for electrical panel to hang to the wall. So these are taking up some space, and we've got these little doohickeys out. So I'm going to Dremel these out to have a flat surface in here, and this way this whole pack can fit right in there, and we'll see if that'll fit. It looks like a pretty tight fit between that and the cover. Actually has a little bit of depth to it, so I'm hoping that I'm going to have to rewire things a little bit and make it so that it'll fit in here. And what's the nice thing about it is it's got a little seal all the way around, so this is going to be kind of waterproof from the top, which is what I like. And yeah, so once I Dremel these out, I'll put the pack in and see how that goes. Yeah, this will work. Okay, this will work. Cool. Okay, now it's time to connect the BMS wires. And basically this is 14 red wires that go to the positive and 1 black for the negative. One thing I wish is that we were told to put this first before you put on the connectors, because then you won't have to undo the connectors, put them in. But I'm just following a sequence on YouTube, and this is one of the things that I thought would have been better to connect the BMS wires before we put the connectors. Would have been a lot easier. But this is where we are. So now I basically unscrew one of the connectors on the positive, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 on the positive end of each parallel. So so that is the sequence that I'm going by. And now basically I'll have to lift off those connectors and try to slip this underneath. I'm putting these, you see, that's why I wish we'd done it before the connectors, because then I don't have to worry about shorting anything out, and I have to use these electrical tape to protect what I have. And also there is a chance you might slip, you know. Things can slip here and cause a shortage. So anyway, just a heads up, if you're, I hope you're watching the whole thing before you start your own, is to, after you've set up all of the pack, and you know which way the positive are, put these on first and then put the connectors and then screw them on. Just a little heads up. Learn from my mistakes, basically. See, this is kind of some of those connectors, they fit very snug. I'm not going to take it completely off. I'm just going to slip it underneath, and I make a loop like that to go around the screw. And that's all you need. There it is, connected. And the BMS, I could either put it here or on the top. Also, one of the things that I think wasn't thought of well is that if this is a 14S, I noticed that the length, see, this is all the length they give you. And if you were going to put your BMS in the front, guess what? That one back here is not going to reach. So you can either extend it or what have you, but I didn't want to do that because I don't want to raise any resistance or anything like that. So I didn't want to attach another wire and then, you know, sort of extend it to here. So instead, I'm going to put the BMS hopefully on top here. And this way everything is nice and loose and close to where I need it to be. Also, about the wiring diagram, it gets a little confusing because the way they have it, you see in here, for example, you've got the connectors is on the bottom and your terminals are like that. So, but the orientation of the BMS is that way. So you're constantly trying to turn your head 90 degrees to try and figure out which wire is where. So instead, I went ahead and redrew it on a sticky note, and then I turn it so that it's the same orientation as the BMS. And that way, now I know that this is the battery negative terminal, this goes to the controller, and this one is for the charger. Okay, so now at least my drawing is in orientation with the way it is. The way they have it here, it's turned 90 degrees, I guess, so that they can fit this big sticker. But this is pretty easy to just make the little drawing smaller, that's all. I mean, and then put it in the right orientation to make it easy, but nothing is easy. So, now I'm just gonna straighten out the wires and maybe tape them until it comes this way here. And this is gonna come in here. Oh, actually now I can actually stretch it and make it closer to where I want it to be. You know, the thing is, too bad is that this doesn't have a readout to tell me whether it's working or not. But I guess okay, no fire, nothing exploded, so I guess we're good. Okay, something odd happened after I connected all the wires and tested this, and I went back to watch the video to make sure that I'd done everything right. And I come back to it and suddenly I smell a little burning smell, and this thing is hot, even though I haven't even connected the negative wire. So this tells me I've done something wrong, but I don't know where. Positive, 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 positive. Okay, all of these are positive. And I checked the voltage. I didn't, everything here feels fine. The voltage is still about 50.8. But why is this getting hot when there is no circuit complete? Time to investigate. So basically what I did is when I saw that, I panicked. So I went ahead and cut off all of the wires. So all this work was really for nothing, because I didn't want to start a fire and I didn't want to ruin this. So I guess all I could have done is just unplug this, but still, I need to make sure that I got everything right. I'm following Micah's video, and I guess I'm gonna have to restart. Okay, so apparently just connecting the balance wires to the BMS without these will cause the BMS to start heating up. Now, according to Micah Tolles of Rusen.com, that every now and then he'll get people like me who who will connect things not in the order that he showed, and that's why he gets these problem of this heating up or maybe sometimes catching on fire or what have you. But anyway, so I'm gonna attempt to reinstall this since I don't think it caught on fire. I'm gonna attempt to connect it temporarily. This way, if anything goes wrong, I'm gonna be able to disconnect it right away. So this is the last one. Okay. So positive, positive. Double check the work. And the negative is there. Okay, so now take this. And let's hope nothing blows up. So now I'm ready to plug it into the BMS. But what I have here is a heat sensing equipment by FLIR or FLIR, however you say it. And this is going to, you see my hand here, is going to record if I see any heat change in the BMS. Then I'll be able to quickly unplug it and try to find what the problem would be. Okay, hopefully there will be no problem. So let's just see what happens. So I got all the connections in here. Let's take a look. Okay, so far so good. Nothing exploded, nothing is burning. Let's make sure this is connected. Okay, so far so good. I don't see any heat getting into it. Yeah, this is nice and cool. So hopefully, when it heated up, it didn't damage anything inside. So we'll check that with how much. Okay, so the moment of truth. Since this one is gonna go to the load, so this is the negative, and that's our positive. We've got a 49.32. All right, so this will work. So we'll go ahead and finish soldering the mains. Very nice. Hello, so this is the next day and the battery pack is fine and I don't feel the BMS heating up at all or anything. So, and it didn't catch on fire. Now here's the thing, I bought the Vrusen, with the Vrusen kit also, I bought the charger. However, the charger comes with these kind of barrel connectors. And in the video, Micah says he uses the XD60 for that. But I don't want to ruin this. I mean, it's already nice and clean and it's already established. So instead, I'm going to use the a barrel connector receptacle that that I bought from an electronics store, so that it has a nice fit to it. This will protrude out of the box that I'm going to put the batteries in. But for now, I just want to test it, make sure that everything is kosher and works. And I already tested that the inside is the positive, and the outside clip. So the inside of this is the positive according to this diagram here in the back, or on the bottom of the charger. So inside is the positive, that would be inside the barrel itself, and the outer is the negative, which would be this here. So the outer will be the black, the inside will be the red. And same thing here, I tested it, so the inside is the positive, and let me show you how it is here. The inside is the positive, and then if you look in the back, there's a shiny thing in the back, that would be the negative. And when I tested it, the protruding part on the inside, the positive actually has a pretty distinct connection on the outside, and the other two are both the negative. Okay, so this here will be the positive, and that's what I'm going to connect. Positive, and this is the negative. Hopefully I chose the correct negative, because this I'm told is a switch type, so when you plug something in it, it would disconnect a power, or if there's any power going out, it'll disconnect it. So I'm not sure which is which. It doesn't come with much instructions on the packet. So anyway, we'll just find out. And yeah, so let's hope nothing explodes. Now I have the negative connected to the C minus on the BMS, and this is the positive, which I will connect it to it once I plug in the charger. And the charger has a light. Green is not charging, orange is charging. So let's just see now what's gonna happen. Here's nothing. Okay, oh, well, first you gotta plug it in. Okay, let's plug this in. Make sure these aren't touching, there's no short. Okay. Huh, nothing is happening. Oh, it does. Charging, green, not charging. Oh, that's because this is a 48-volt charger, and we're already at 49. No, it says 58.8. Should do it.